When humans see a piece of wood, they designate wood. When termites see the same piece of wood, they designate food. Even if all people agree to label that piece of wood food, we can't make it function like food for us. How would the statement, all phenomena exist conventionally by mere designation conceptually, according to worldly convention, explain that? Mi kaza tokpe tatsamdang tanya tu yopa di keja di yorai di
tokpe tatsamda
di shing to chi yorwa shingi kaza how would you say piece of wood shing chik ngaju shing dag ming shing dagro 미당 부기 계절에 미당 샘chen 부기 계절 이 샘chen 디 싱디 통소나 디 칼라 요레스 섬레 로 맞추 싱다게로
싱기 안에
통소 부디 칼라다오지 섬그레 님이 칼라다오 요레 이 맞추 미 맞추 싱 통소나 디 칼락 삼부 잔에 용어래. 그래. 제차
고마워지.
디 제차 디 싱디 맞추 칼락이 잘해 치투 레게 책임면도 지금도 디 칼라 레게 책임면도 제차 디 추탐지 단위도 독배 다참 단위도 독배 다참 레스 카네스 디 카네스 요레
단위 도바다 간지레시
디
자 고고 맞으니
the question is 디
신부디 신기 무의식의 사기도 싫어해 아니
아주 신사기 말와.
아주 신사기 말와.
부디를 신 통소나디 칼라레 삼글레. 아주 신디 통소나디 칼라마레 삼글레 디 신레. 디 그사 낭초다 민드라요바 아니 디 민당 도페 딱추 민드라요바. 제천이 디 신디 도페 닥삼이나 디 닥추 니 민드라요바.
신 도페 따점 인장 아니 가스레 디스기스오레. 보이 신사기 사고와랑 아주 신사기 말에 대다 도페 따점 말을 거래.
디 닥추 민당 닥추 민드라와니요바.
민당 다조세야지 배나 소소소게 깨게 민다자 연구로 봐. 봐. 좋아 소소게 롱제자게 민다지 지용 좋아 소소.
이 독배 닥추
도페 따점 찍바래. 아, 랑아랑게 탄야베 사마티게 따고 와라 봐. 봐. 다 민다주 좋아 소소라 민민자와 다 가시하다 민도 맞아봐 가시야 민자에 대연구로 봐.
So yes, this it's not. So the thing here is that this there are different ways in which we designate things. We use different names, like in different language groups. Among humans, we use different names for things, and we conceive of things differently. So the fact that things are designated by names and conceived by thought in different ways among different types of sentient beings, and even among just within humans, this occurs in different ways. That is just the way it is.
소소기 롱제자기 신데 조아티 롱기 민기 따담도 전체바리 튼주 강가하고 여기.
So then for that kind of sentient being, the termites, when they perceive the wood, they designate it as food, or because that's what they eat. It's the thing that they utilize for food, so they have that way of designating it as such.
아니, 지당 좋아서서기 레기 왕기 아니 치용어 지기나 양 아니 투몬 주베들이 와르스다 우미나라서 왔나 시체네. 在外给烈性血瓦出泡，烈性血瓦泡瓦康了。俺那主要说说给土蒙都大的站吧，俺你米个去参与不同业，伊拉个哪吒同业，他也就是同业，就是有点可能说，
부부 शेवा
就泡泡康不高有康不得了。俺你他们有些说来东点啥瓦给，他们有些说土蒙都大家呢。
So then this is also the same issue that's in which you have a bowl full of fluid, and when it's observed by the gods within their community or the group of the gods, then that appears to them and they call it nectar or ambrosia, and that's valid for them. And then likewise for humans, then that liquid appears to humans as water, and it is actual water that's validly established for humans, and then for the pretas, then it appears like blood and pus, that fluid, and for them it's validly established as that.
근데 나위 로태양 추와 시대를 추와서는 모두 시대랑을 참아서.
So in terms of the thing which they're observing, then it's not the case that those perceptions of it are mistaken in that regard. Rather, those perceptions are actually valid knowledge with respect to that thing for the individual groups.
Oh, yeah.
Can we think of worldly convention as a kind of collective karma? And then the rest of this question is what was just said. Through different samsaric realms, realms of samsara, gods, humans, hungry ghosts, etc., have different sets of worldly conventions. So that was just answered. Jiktin Tanya, the collective karma, how do you say that? Jiktin Tanya, the tumong le drabuch Yoruba. Tumongwa.
tumongile. Jiktin tumongile. 아니, 내가 되고서 그래.
말에 leg dribble, yeah. So yes, that's right. Worldly convention is sort of like it's if you think of karma in terms of the result of actions, karma as the result of action, then one can say that worldly convention is kind of collective or common worldly is the result of common karma. Like so this environment that we're in now, the external world as well as the beings that inhabit it are they occur due to common collective karma.
Oh, yes.
For those who do not currently have the opportunity to go on retreat, what is the best way to progress towards calm abiding or shamatha? Then 등산 아주 참 고갑 요마레스. 참
참드에.
참 고갑 두츠 요마레스.
가세. 참대 두츠 요마레스.
아니야. 이니 신이 간에서 누구레스. 신이 디 신이 기 초클라 도야 칸스 도그래.
现在他就是在当我去个人，是吧？就是没当了，现在主要要嘛的，是吧？什么因为我都在那现在主快么都。
So I mean, there's no if one doesn't apply oneself to developing this kind of mind, shamatha, then if one is just constantly distracted by mental afflictions and activities, then no way.
在那样，现在就是家长当嘛到呢，按你妈的啦，说个就是开始去收钱，就是开始要去收钱，提那个啦，按你现在就是上了嘛当钱啦，按你赶紧去培养个吧。
But even if we can't do that all, like in a retreat or for full time for an extended period of time, even just in our daily life, if we have some time that we devote to placing the mind in this kind of state of calm, relaxed state, then that is beneficial. It is helpful.
这样，高的有啊，就高的没有多天没用吧。 你们大把些的就是退钱，安尼就是开始这那样，安尼退退钱，安尼上了当呢，安尼的看说的，穷话当国巴当，因为就是也不穷，我写话钱，全部典当当，写信钱了，其实就也不去带钱，安尼出去经济去也不去穷，你讲了，安尼可能也不用个的吧。
So even if we don't do this continuously all day long, if we devote a portion of our day, some period of time, and it's important that this be done every day. It's not something that if you do it for a few days and then you leave it away and then you come back and try to do it after a week or something, it won't work. That will not work. It has to be something that you would do every day. And then when you're doing it, then you have to try to apply the various techniques of having recollection of the object of meditation, and as well as vigilance, observing what the mind is doing when you're doing this kind of meditation, so as to not come under the control, completely be dominated by the sinking and sort of distraction and sort of unruly state of mind that is not remaining on the object. Then if you do that sort of as a habit or every day, then it will definitely, you'll see some benefit. Could Rinpoche please explain if there is a significance to the order in which the three approaches or entrances are explained? This is on page 152 of Jeffrey Hopkins' translation. Does one engage in one type of investigation before proceeding to the others? And then the order is given, this is on 362 of the Tibetan text, those three entrances or doors, approaches. Does one engage in one type of investigation before proceeding to the others? And then the order, she lists the three there, the one arisen from the image, one arisen from thorough examination, and one arisen from individual examination. I think I translated those differently. Gosum ki shini drupzu di gosum gondale simale chungwatang yongso tsowale chungwatang soso dobale chungwasum di sum ki gorem di gyutsenyorpe gorem di sum tangpo nipa sumpa ki gorem di gyutsenyorpe
계속 문제 고름도 어디 다나 당보 안에 흥아 망에 왕에 위치도 때나 바꾸라 와 여기 참말로 중화도 고순부 된데 두순도 와 참말로 중화 용서 좋아라 쳐서 떠봐라 좋아 숨숨 대숨진 문제 다음에 배탄다고 싫었잖아 당보 다음에 내생을 미네 참말이라 체치된 때나 봐 마도 미쳐봐오 체대제 대내 나라 망해와 체위치 다 당보대 나라 망해와 위치도 때나 봐봐체 대제라 안 다음에 내생을 미네 뒤 참아 일라 체치 때나 봐 마도 미쳐봐야체 봐. 다 뒤에라 내생이 되나 알신 아니 줘봐 쳐야 돼. 어떻게?
So actually, the order of when they're listed in this in the sequence in the text, but in terms of the way in which they're actually done, then one does the second one first. That is, for someone one has to establish the object here that one is going to meditate upon. If one has not previously ascertained that, then in order to ascertain it properly, to ascertain it, then one has to establish it. So that's the second of those three, and then
니와디.
니바디.
나왕알 당부 니와디 알 망에 왕여와 제위치도 안에 때나 파체. 되네 당부데 다음에 내생라 미네 안에 참아일라 체지 때나 배봐 마부 마체봐. 어째 뒤에서 안가를 내생 비트라 안에 가시 줘봐 줘봐.
So the actual order of doing it is number 2 first, then number 1, and then number 3. So first you have to establish you haven't previously ascertained the object that is going to be meditated on, and so in order to gain that ascertainment, you have to establish it. Then once one has, in here we're talking about selflessness. Once one has has already ascertained selflessness, then you focus your attention on the image of that, having gained that kind of ascertainment of it. And then the third one is once one has ascertained it, one does just as one had done previously in the first version of this, and engage in the analysis over repeatedly.
No, not that. Oh yeah. 다다 좀 가와라고. 자사다 년사다 년대제다 세대제다. 단위와兄弟 대다라 대다래. 원도 친이라 미비시네 께네. 당원도 친이발라 미비시네 께네. 七达没了没被，达没了没得，讲完你上当都是不明白你，现在咋就，俺你没把钱也把了没把钱，这里样，我的现在主要给没把这了买点把钱，上当讲的干了，俺你样当你了明白上当讲话，我听着吃完呢，俺你听着我就明白送来的了，你那么就光把你，我就达没就听了没明白，那。친이 비춰라 미비니 우리 다음에 베테나 마미바 가론지라 미비 마미바 미바 가론지 아니 친이 비춰 아니 다 하고라서 가론아지라 미비 아니 신의 깨네 치 아니 대제라 신의 좀니 치 다음에라 미데 정완이라 상동 쳐바니 많이 돼 치 다음에라 미네 정완이라 상동 쳐바니 많이 돼 신앙이오데 아니 미바치 고그래 봐 신앙이네 미비관에 잡아 마인실 미비관에 잡아 마인실 미바 신의 미바당 한동 미바데 소소 잡아 그냥 잡아 말했어 미비관에 잡아 미비시당 시신명아 내장 순순이동기 되니라 미네 땅에라 순순이동 그 터니 때라 돈이 돈반이 때라 팝 대라 미네 아니 원도 아니 순순이동은 미네 신내지 대라 셈내 관에 아니 신내 줍 순순이동은 메베 셈내 관에 신내 줍니 신내지 비오도 아니 순순이동 터니라 메네 아니 자고미 사도 잡아 잡아치 연자 신랑이 뭐지 뭐가 찍고 그래 됐어
So then it's the next topic is that from those texts that have been mentioned above, the works of Arya the Lord Maitreya, etc., and Arya Sangha, Bhaviveka, Shantideva, Kamalashila, from those texts, it's not the case that they're teaching that initially or previously one has to generate shamatha, taking as one's object a diversity of things, diverse things that is things that are not emptiness or selflessness. And then later, when one is developing insight, one practices that or maintains that practice from having using selflessness as the object. That's not what is taught in those texts. And then that's the outline inserted in the basic text. The basic text continues here saying, their thought is not that previously one without using the selflessness as the meaning of selflessness as one's meditative object, that one must generate shamatha with taking as one's object some other kind of object. That here, some other kind of object would be any sort of diverse phenomenal thing, such as the body of a deity, etc., and generating shamatha like that, and then later taking selflessness as one's object. This alone, practicing insight alone in that fashion is what is understood as insight. That is not what these texts are saying. And then the explanation of that is that shamatha and insight, shamatha and vipassana, are the two of these are not differentiated by means of their objects. That is, you can practice both shamatha and insight meditation with the same object. And this is explained in the instruction on the perfection of wisdom that was mentioned earlier. In that it says that using the reality of the absence of subject and object as being really two things, duality of subject and object, taking that as one's object, one first generates shamatha, and then using that very same object, that is the absence of duality between subject and object, using that as one's object, then employing analytical meditation, one generates insight meditation. So that's the way that Master Ratnakara Shanti explains it in that text, the instruction on the perfection of wisdom.
Oh yeah. 생존이동 그 대니라 면에 오늘 신의 개와 송하되다. 지지명아 가서 송해야 돼. 심점배 루체. 아니 순진이동 그 야나 돈이체 대라면에 신의 개와 루디 순진이동 칼랭 그 말와.
So that text is explaining the way in which one develops shamatha and insight using the absence of dual subject and object as the object, and that is because that text is employing the mere mind position, the position that things are merely mind. But in this system, the system we're presenting here, that sort of understanding of emptiness is not appropriate, because in this system, subject and object are two different things.
Oh yeah, 대응은도 신의 계신비 예수시 대라 때는 아니 가서래 신년발람에 한동 세신 세신 대양 원도 신의 계신비 어도 신년발람에 비신 한동 샤바래 원도 신의 계신비 예수 아니 다 대라 때는 신의라 때는 아니 가서래 사코라 시라서 따네 되봐 채통하다 내매발라 쏴와게 아니 라바다 아니 삼대는 기대다 아니 텔레트지 시와 원이다 시라근 안바젠지 아니 다 미바 시라가 나바지 한동 고바 숨비체.
So then, and likewise, the Arya Asanga also explains this in a way here, showing that that he explains that one has insight, which takes as its object the diversity of things, and he explains it that way, and so it's saying that. Previously, having previously already generated shamatha, then after that, and in dependence upon that, one develops through meditation the insight, which has as its aspect the relative coarseness and peaceful natures of things. Here, relative coarseness and peacefulness refers to doing insight meditation, where one is examining the relative coarseness of, for example, the desire realm, which has multiple defects and is coarse in terms of lifespan and the quality of the environment and such, compared to the type of environments and the form of life that is experienced in the meditative absorption, the states of meditative absorption, where the life is longer, it's more peaceful, the circumstances are better, so that kind of comparison.
Oh yeah. Tendaki ani shiraga namba change ani handong ani ote handong sinachi shima shiraga namba handong di 태양 친한 이가당 shiraga namba chana tena jibi ani shilasunde de 치료하다 나바 니가다 소소기보다 파바 니가게 아니 투몽을 남도 송아레스 다 투몽을 남도 송아레스가라 니가게 아니 가소래 정말 치아바기 남천이 버려 장 말에 남천이 버려 말에
지금 실라키노
친한 니가당 친한 니가 투몽와기 아니 냠수나자 그러나 아니 지난이당 아니 깨봐 니가기 투몽기 아니 가서 시라가 나바지 투몽을 남도 숨비쳤나
So then, with regard to that as well, this is something that is common to both non-Buddhists and Buddhists, and it's also a path which is common to both ordinary persons as well as Aryas. And so this is referring to, one can read this in terms of applying here to the, one can construe this in terms of both the integration or combination of shamatha and vipassana. Here, though, one would say that shamatha and insight, those two kinds of meditation, are not the actual definitive forms of them, if we're speaking of them as being common to both Buddhists and non-Buddhists. And then likewise, the form of developing insight, shamatha and insight with respect to the path, which has observes the relative coarseness and peacefulness of the different stages of the realms, different levels of the realms, is also something that's common to both for insiders, outsider non-Buddhists and insider Buddhists, as well as for Aryas and ordinary sentient beings.
Oh yeah, that's 투몽을 나도 숨배체를 시내 통만 주비제 몇번 제지도 줘발래 다 가소래 통마 주비제를 미대한 가르치나 미대한 직보텔래 안에 제지도 줘발래 아니야 넘버 파 마보파 몇번 줄미로 와다 안에 넘버 가소래 투마체 미로 와대 대나 시내 가를 마도 봐 사도 줍나니 달래 탐보면 내가 가서 미바 가run지라 제지도 샤네 다 가소래 시내가 미바 하고라 써와 안에 삼라 써와 다 동반이라 써와 가run지라 제지도 아니 샤네 돈이 되나 파바르지나 아니 샤네 주바 마도 랑게 미바 텔라 남바 투마 째네 잡아 치므로 남바 투마 째네 주도 미룬데 미바 찌라 제주도 샤네 주나 아니 두그리 신의 천이봐 아니 미바 찌라 투마 째네 주나 아니 주도 미룬와 치마다 째나 신의 주바 미스비치 미바라 제주도 내 두고 말했어 남바만 뭐 잡아 째잖아
So then this leads to the point that when one is first initially accomplishing shamatha, it's not appropriate, it's inappropriate to analyze the object in multiple ways or to change the object that one is focusing upon. Rather than having the mind being placed single-pointedly upon that object. That's doing it the other way, analyzing it a great deal, or alternating the object a lot is inappropriate. And then the basic text here says, therefore, when one is newly and someone who has not already obtained shamatha, and they are newly accomplishing it, this is referring to beginners, people who are just starting out doing this, then they need to accomplish it by having placed their minds single-pointedly upon whatever object they have selected. So the object here again could be like the body of a deity, the mind, or emptiness. These different forms, different kinds of objects that one places one's mind single-pointedly upon, and not doing that, but except for placing the mind single-pointedly on that object that one has selected, it's inappropriate to engage in multiple forms of analysis with respect to one's own meditative object. If you
아마다 채나 두지 이바 간로지라 제지도 샤네 아니 신의 두바다지나 아니 신의 두그레 아니 미바 간로지라 제지도 마샤바 랑기 미바 텔라 남바 투마 째네 아니 두바다지나 아니 제지바 신의 두고 말해.
So if you do it as was stated in the previous case, that is, take whatever object you've selected, then place your mind single-pointedly upon it, then you'll be able to accomplish shamatha. But if you do it in the latter style, in the latter case, which means engaging in a lot of analysis of the object that you've selected, then one won't be able to accomplish. It's impossible to accomplish shamatha.
Oh yeah. 다 뒤제라 나를 아니 가서 오래 신의 통마 주비 가라 아니 시와 신의 온도 출신지 아니 신의 온도 출신지 통마 주니 아니 미발라 제주도 아니 양바 줘봐기 아니 조금 잠래장 아니 뒤제수 아니 가서 오래 상동톱 그러와 상동톱이 가라 아니 미발라 제주도 아니 가서래 제주도 내외 안에 아니 미바텔라 제도치 아 소소도비 소소도비 셰럽치 제데 아니 제도비 장비 아니 유동반이 이나야 강이나 유텔라 아니 제주도 냠바 줘봐데 아마기 아니 조금 그 감기 제주바 대당 단다 제도 그 장비 소소도비 셰럽치 제도 그 장비 아니 유텔라 제주도 냠바 샤바니오데 톱치준전에 치마 톱치와.
So then this leads to the point that once one has already accomplished, previously accomplished shamatha, then one is able to achieve it to an even greater degree and with greater power by engaging in analytical meditation, rather than merely engaging in placement meditation, this sort of fixation or placement meditation. if rather than once one's already achieved shamatha, if rather than merely engaging in placement meditation or fixation meditation, one engages in analytical meditation, then the power of that, even the power of one's stabilization or placement meditation, that will increase such that one's single-pointed meditation, the power of one's single-pointed meditative concentration will become achieved to a greater degree. So this is saying that, for example, if one takes selflessness or emptiness as one's object, and one has already achieved shamatha with that as the object, then rather than continuing to just only engage in shamatha, which is a kind of placement or placement meditation or fixation meditation on the object, if one instead engages in analytical investigation of that object, which is itself the insight form of meditation, then the power of one's single-pointed meditative concentration will actually increase greater than if one had simply remained doing the single-pointed, doing the placement type of meditation, the shamatha alone.
이제 신행어도 출신지니 응아를 조금 잠라 공부생활에 당아를 신행어도 좁니 되네 아니 유 신하게 미바 칸라 제주도 냠바 샤바게 제주도 냠바 샤바 되게 조금 되래 조금 잠시라 아니 공부생니 생활대 대바 되래 아니 세자 치다바다 아니 진입이 되어 가서 감밥 가는 치다발 제게 나래 진입이 되어 가서 감밥라 아니 소소소비 셰럽지 제비 제금钱呢他就需要那些소소 셰럽지 소소를 아니 제비 제금钱呢제금 제비 탈 아니 가나 제금 제비 미바텔라 아니 제집이 띵에지 쳐바젠젠 투베 대제집이 띵에지 신도네 또 쳐봐 두바 자와 아니 아마 죽은 그 뒤장 받잖아 아니 아마 미니베 아니 조금 더 신도는 아바래.
So then the basic text here says that for someone who has already previously accomplished shamatha, then rather than simply extending the cultivation of that stabilization, that merely that kind of stabilization meditation as previously done, rather than doing that, then if instead one engages in analytical meditation, which is this investigative kind of wisdom which analytically investigates the object. So in using wisdom with respect to whichever sort of object is relevant within this context, whether it's the object of knowledge, which is things as they are, or rather an object of knowledge which is one of the diverse sorts of things. If it takes whatever object is relevant in that context, then and if one engages in analytical meditation in that way, then at the end of that, one will be able to bring forth a special kind of single-pointed meditative concentration, and because of that, it's by bringing forth that single-pointed kind of concentration through analytical meditation, then one is able to accomplish a much more powerful form, extremely more powerful form of single-pointed meditative concentration, and in a way that the former way of doing it, the simple extension of the process of continuing to meditate on shamatha alone, is not able to do that. And because that's the case, then analytical meditation is highly praised.
Oh yeah. They 집이 또 좋아. 자꾸 와서 오체. 다 미바지 이나양 주주 되니 신내당 상도니보디나 미바지라 이나양 시란이지 아니 미바 종주 면자와 니용와 준잔디 말에 봐 미바지 이나양 신예바 이나래 치다바 이나양 아니 텐자위 신내당 상도니보 미바 신예바다 신예바 간운지 이나양 아니 신란이기 아니 미바지 종주라 면자와 니용와 다 준잔
So that very way of accomplishing shamatha and insight, even if it's the case that one is using a single object for meditation here, nevertheless, there are two different ways or styles of maintaining the meditation within when one is speaking about shamatha or one is talking about insight. The way of sustaining that those two forms of meditation are different, and there's a reason why they are different, and that's given below.
Oh yeah. 아, 담보 가르래 사람 미바치다 와다 진예바 가로나 미네. 아니 신행 온도 짜네. 저와도 그랑 상동의 천이 저도 가라양 신의 뒤 안에 심 미바 가르 있나요? 동반이라 있나 동반이라 미비 신의 뒤 안에 아니 랑기 미바 아니 신의 뒤 미바 동반이라 아니 소소 도비 셰랍지 제디 아니 제도기 장비 아니 신장의 대화선바나 상동 토와 인장 미바지 인바 다가랑 두고 와리 인자 두주 되니 신행원도 자와라 때네 시상동 공비 추인배 스탠다 공도 해야 돼. 아 당보 시상동 공비 추인배 다음에 답이 미바지 인양 신내당 상동 니워데 다음에 답 이가 미바 다음에라 미바 직바 인바 있나양 종주 민자와 니용 그래. 와
So there, with regard to the actual way that one accomplishes this, as we said previously, when one develops shamatha, then based upon having shamatha, then one develops insight. And that insight, in turn, whether one is using things as they are, that's here like emptiness or ultimate reality as the object, selflessness, or one's talking about diverse things, phenomenal things, as taking one of those as the objects, like the body of a deity or whatever. Then, when one's doing insight meditation, when one shifts from shamatha to insight meditation, then, as we said earlier today, then out of that arises the special kind of the workability or pliability of the body and mind, which is that which gives rise to the actual insight. And that arises, again, from analyzing the object of meditation within the context of insight meditation. So then when one has done that analysis of the object in insight, then arises the mental and bodily flexibility, as discussed earlier today. So that very way of developing these that was discussed previously is such that when one in dependence upon having previously sought shamatha, then subsequently one develops one develops the meditation on insight. Because that's the case, even though the object is a single thing, such as selflessness in the case of looking at a thing as it is, then nevertheless, the ways in which one maintains the meditation of shamatha and vipassana and insight, the two of them are different. And there's Mindrawa.
아니 두주더니 민다와 소의 군전 소와 하세디 여기 따야라 신년 온도 주심지 응아신 조금 잠라 공부 생활래 미바 다 공부 생활 많이 봐 미바 응아리 신년 주심기 미바 다가라 채 대라 치다와다 진입이 된 강갑수 강告诉 강밥라 아니 시럽지 소소제비 자금 채나 아니 대다 제집이 띵어지 쳐바젠 루젠 투베 대전 된다왜 제집이 띵어진데 아니 신도 또 쳐와 루바 아마 아니 미바시 아니 돈이라 미바 잠라 신내 줘봐텔라 매바 자금 세야되게 대이게 당보되게 아니 조금 잠라 공부 생겨야 미바 돈이라 미바 채 대잠지 아니 공부생활 잠만 봐 아니 조금 시다 진이지 가라 수소sob에 자르고 조금 치사대야 미바데 돈반이라 쳐봐 인장 대인장 군자제다 오마디 두두스던 거 이가 이제 미바지라 쳐봐 그 군자한테
So then the reason why here in this context we're talking about meditation on emptiness. So in the case of both shamatha and vipassana, and if they're being performed with respect to the object emptiness, then the reason why there's two different ways of carrying out these two forms of meditation. One is placement meditation, and the other is analytical sort of meditation. The reason why it goes to the general reason why there are two different ways of doing these two different forms of meditation are that which has just been given in the previous passage, where it says that somebody who has formally already accomplished shamatha, rather than simply extending that kind of meditation with simple stabilization meditation as had been done previously, instead should take whatever object is relevant in this particular context here, referring to emptiness being the object. In this context, emptiness would be the object, so that would be things as they are, or the nature of things. And then investigating that analytically, using analytical wisdom to analyze and investigate emptiness. Then at the end of that, one is able to bring forth some kind of extremely special form of single-pointed meditative concentration. And because the power of that single-pointed meditative concentration that arises from that is much greater than simply extending one's placement meditation and merely continuing to do shamatha, then that's the reason why this kind of analytical meditation is praised.
Oh yeah, but then 주주들이 안에 신앙원도 자 칠라노급에 초인배 미바 담에다고 지기 있나양 안에 신에게 가서 안에 조금 미셔봐 선미바라 제주도 내와다 안에 한동게 가서 안에 소소 미바 안 신에게 미바다 안에 동마니 다가를 있나양 대라 안에 소소소비 셔럽지 제비 안에 제배 탈 안에 가서래 안에 가서 미바들라 제주도 내와지 이용하고 군자들이
So that's why there are these two ways that even though the object is the same, in this case selflessness or emptiness, it's got the identical object that's being used for development of shamatha and for the development of insight. Nevertheless, there are two different ways of performing in the shamatha versus insight, whereas shamatha is placing the mind on the object and fixing it to the object single-pointedly. The insight is rather the investigation of the object and analysis of it. So therefore, there are two different ways that these are done.
Oh yeah, 나한테니 지라 되라 지내 되라 주바 시라 남자당 다음에 그 한동 공부 투체와니 시라 그 남자 그 한동당 다음에 그 남바지 한동 공부 투체와니 나 다중 공도 샤바 나신 전에 친한 투모와 그 시네 대 간데스 그래서나 제자도 감 공부 그 전에 통신 시가라 되바라 안에 채통하다 내매발라 써와라바 삼대 담보대 텔라되디 아니 시와 나더니 야야야지 안에 삼대 담보라 안라바 삼대 니와라 시와 안에 삼대 숨발라 라바 삼대 시와라 시와 다 도시전이 삼대 시다 안에 숨에 시전이 되셔요 알아봐 이다 제자 감고 그 견 소소 제비 시라 남바 전지 남바 젠당 스타나 되발라 샤소나 되바니 내마와다 채통와라 소와기 라바당 삼대시 안에 가서라 삼대 한 번에 텔라된데 아니 연년도 때네 아니 시라게 남바 젠텔라 아니 제지도 꼽네 텔라면에 아니 시네 텔라면에 아니 항동 tenzo ane shiraka namba chenchen ane langdong sede shila sungde tere tenra wi namba chen de dang dame bi tuan la so so to bi shirab ki chen ne kyong wi dame ji namba ni ji langdong kwa ma ni da kaso re ngewa shuk cha le tenpa kyo kwe we kasa shiraka namba chen dang dame bi tuan la so to bi namba chen ji langdong kwa ma ni de ngewa shuk cha du tenpa kyo kwe we
So then that's the general reason why there are two ways of conducting oneself, of maintaining the meditation session within the context of shamatha and insight. Then the specific other reasons for why there are these two is that it's here with respect to the two forms of both shamatha and vipassana, shamatha and insight. Here referring to the first being the form that was mentioned earlier, where one is comparing the relative coarseness of a lower form of existence with the relative peace and superiority of a higher form of existence. And then, in addition to that, the way in which one meditates and one develops insight, which has selflessness as its object, showing the force of that it has greater force. Then the text here says that in particular, when one is carrying out the insight meditation, or here one could say also both shamatha and insight with respect to the different levels of existence. Here, this is referring to, if we take like the desire realm is characterized as having relatively short life. Beings born in it have short lives. They live in inferior environments. They undergo various kinds of coarse forms of suffering compared to the higher realms. If we take just the first, it's called dhyana, or meditative concentration. That state has a much superior environment. The beings, the bodies of the beings inhabiting that are much superior. Their lives are much longer. The quality of the conditions that they experience are greatly superior to those of the desire realm. So when one is doing shamatha and insight with respect to that, one compares the relative good qualities of the higher realm versus the defects of the lower realm, and develops interest in gradually goes through the different realms, developing meditative concentration, shamatha in particular, which is appropriate, connected to the various higher realms of existence. These apply both to, comparing the physical realms of the first four meditative concentrations comparing those sequentially with the kind of environment one has in the desire realm. And then one can go through this as well with respect to the absorptions of the immaterial realms that are above the material realm of the four material realms of existence. And then Shiraki Nampachin. Shiraki Nampachin da.
Shiraki number 10 dang. Shirado come home, go to so Shiraki number 10 said, take it Panja Ponto de, Jidembelam Panja Ponto. Da may be turned a social to be shared with Jen at American number 10, Handon Gome, Handon Gone, Panja Ponte, and it's Jidele David like Panja Ponto. Shiraki number 10, Lamtela, and a Panja Ponto della Lam Chani Bamari. Lam Chani Bamari. Sasola, Kong, Genso Tomagi, Annie, Komala Shiva, Wabala Rabat Devagi, Mibatella Menatambo, Annie Yeto, Sineto, Annie Tene, Til Handon or Shiragana Shira, Annie Shiragana Baji, Annie Handon Ma Drumni, Shila Sunje Tomni, Tene Shini, Annie Jidemelaji Panja Ponji Tedi, Number Genji, Annie Panja. Debe Numo, Munjua. Sabana Japan, my bache. Munjua, Tires and Bashi to Pankuari. In the Chidem Bilamji, Pongo in the Angela de Otida. Shiragan Nabache, the Dame turn a sort to be Sherabji, Jebi, Dameniji, Nambanji, Handon Gomani, never shoot Hala, Damba Jia Gueves, Chidem Bilanji, Panja Ponju Tiang, Chidem Shiragan Nabachi, Handon, never shoot Hala, Damba Jia Gueves. 다음에 비타나 수소도에 셰르비잖아. 다음 칸동 거바 대양 아니 내가 슈트를 담바 제고 그래. 아니 대바 주다야.
So here, when one's doing this path of meditation, which is employing shamatha and insight to basically to ascend through the various realms of existence by comparing the relative defects and superior qualities of the realms as one ascends through them. This is you're using shamatha by focusing the mind upon the object here, like the realm which is superior to the realm that you're in, and then analyzing, using insights to analyze and compare that, see how the qualities of life, the lifespan, the environment, the sorts of things that one can enjoy and so forth within the next higher realm, seeing how superior they are to the lower realm of, say, the desire realm, then one is able, this is called a worldly path of meditation, because what one is doing is temporarily suppressing the manifest forms of the mental afflictions that cause one to be reborn into a inferior realm of existence, so that, for example, in the first instance of doing this, one is comparing the relative merits of the first dhyana, or meditative absorption. This is in the physical realm of the upper realms. Still, one is comparing that, the superiority of that, to the inferiority of the kind of environment that one experiences here in the desire realm, with short life, pain and suffering, all of the different kinds of defects of the environment, as well as the beings that inhabit it. And so doing that first shamatha with respect to fixing one's mind on the next upper realm, and then analyzing the relative merits and defects, then one ascends to obtains first one obtains sort of like the entrance to that realm by having shamatha focused upon it, and then through engaging in insight, analyzing the relative merits and defects of that realm versus the realm one is in, then one actually obtains that meditative concentration of the first dhyana. And then one does the same thing up through the next three dhyanas that are contained within the physical realm of existence, and then one ascends to the non-physical realms of meditative absorption, where and doing the same way, comparing the relative coarseness and subtlety of the meditative absorptions that one observes in those realms. So this is all called worldly path of meditation because it only is able to temporarily suppress the manifest forms of the mental afflictions that cause one to be reborn into one of these various stages or realms of existence, but one is not able to uproot and get rid of those mental afflictions because they still remain within the mind in a latent state.
Oh yeah, that's a good. So panja ponwala, ane tuchewa sega. So panja sega. Ane shira ke namba change lamje panja ponju de. Ane jigdembe lamje panja ponju che. Dami betena so to be shira ke chana so be dami ji namba komba kan handong ti komba la tena panja ponju de jigden la de lamje panja ponju. Insan tangbo ti ki onju ba reshi ko namba za ma to panja sabe le ja pon mini wa che. Chima de komba la tena chima de ki ane panja khandang khang na panja sabe le ja pon ko ri.
So therefore, when one is developing the first kind of meditation as well, it's necessary for it to arise in a way which has an extremely strong form of ascertainment as well as stability. And so, and that applies to both of these kinds of meditation, both the path of worldly path of meditation, which is which entails the temporary suppression of the mental afflictions that cause one to be reborn into the inferior states of existence, and by virtue of doing that, one ascends to the higher states of existence, but still is only temporarily suppressed the manifest forms of the mental afflictions, has not been able to get rid of the actual seeds of the mental afflictions, so one has not actually gotten rid of the mental afflictions. Then the second kind of path is called the supramundane path of meditation, and that's where one, by engaging in, one has to develop, have already developed shamatha, but then also develop insight meditation, which has as its aspect selflessness. And the way one does this, proceeds and maintains that kind of insight meditation, is by analyzing the meaning of selflessness by means of investigative or analytical wisdom. And that also needs to arise with an extremely powerful ascertainment as well as stability. And then that also has a greater force to be able to get rid of its particular things to be gotten rid of. That is called the supramundane path of meditation. Is able not. It is not limited to the mere suppression of the mental afflictions. Rather, it's able to eliminate them such that the mental afflictions are completely gotten rid of, such that one will not have to be reborn under the power of those mental afflictions again.
Oh yeah, that didn't consider sana tambo so panja ponda de karasa tambo mi ba ane shira ke namba janlam namba janji sineto ane sinegi ngane that tajin damela Antonio damela so to be shira ke chaba na sin cheni sa ko ni la dobadang a koma ni 아니 가서 교육이 천이 소소들 받잖니 대박이 견다 사원미 견다 사 고만할 때도 원미 견다 원만할 때도 아니 고미 연대한테서 아니 천이 소소 어 르바를 쳐야돼 아 소소도 비 셔럽지 이제 제바 텔라 때네 아니 다양 뒤 공라 다중 안조 가져서 그래 소소도 비 셔럽지 제기 아니 돈이란 미비 상도 천이 봐 마도 봐 아니 상도 진리 봐 줘야지와 오 대당 튀는데 봐야 양사 공원라 줘버려 제박이 아니 사 공원라 교연수 생이 소소를 받치되 제비 제도지 장비 아니 가소래 셰럽제라 아니 신장기 때문에 마스미 내가 값지라 아니 매와 이시 생이 사고 지겨와래 되네 대제라 아니 가소래 상동 천이바 토바 되네 되네 순디 되네 신에 아니 년보디 연구하래 완전 원주와 원주 아니 바자메랑 그 쳐들라 아니 라도 연바 이시 되네야 제가나 되네 데비님은 원주와 되라 첨보 고슴 진 고슴 중국 고슴 전에 좀 마치 본거하래 지대에 반자 본주대
So the way this
시라가 나바지 담보시 남바지 시내도 톱 그봐 시내진 안에 다주 아니 천이 사소소 그 천이 소소 저서 쪄발제기 제도 쪄발 청근데라 안에 사고 다주 안 돈이라 제가나 시내진 안에 랑게 미발라 돈바니라 소소 쪄바 자르바 다 된라 단다 들라 맞아봐 사소소기 오마를 때도 고마 시와다 고마를 때도 오마 라바기 천이 소소를 벌청게 쪄발 싫어 직체 천이 소소를 봐 이제스
So here again, the way this works is we're not talking about if we're talking about the worldly mundane path of meditation, in which has as its aspect the relative coarseness and peace of the various realms. In that case, one is not what one is developing is a form of shamatha and insight, but it's not the definitive or the sort of the definitive form of shamatha and insight, which is involved with the meditation upon selflessness. Instead, what one is doing is observing the diverse kinds of things, phenomenal things, which are the various realms, and one is engaging in first fixing one's mind upon the higher realm that one is going to ascend to, and observing that, and first stabilizing one's mind upon that, and then using analytical investigation, this sort of wisdom which investigates things analytically. One looks at the superiority of that environment, the lifespans, the entire experience of the beings in that realm, and then in comparison to that, then one sees the defects of the lower state of existence, the state of existence immediately below that, and seeing how the life, the environment, and such are all inferior, and comparing the two analytically and investigating through that analytical wisdom, one is able to develop the understanding that the upper realm is superior, and that itself enables one to temporarily suppress the mental afflictions that cause one to be reborn in the lower realm of existence, and thus by temporarily suppressing that level of the manifest forms of the mental afflictions, then one is ensured that one will be reborn into that superior realm, the realm above the realm that one is initially at, and so going through it in that way, one goes through by suppressing the mental afflictions that are connected to the desire realm. Then one goes through these different sets of mental afflictions that are connected to each of the three physical meditative absorption, meditative concentration realms in the physical realm, and then so there are different sets of mental afflictions connected to each of these realms, And so one temporarily suppresses one set and then moves to the next and can proceed through this such that one eventually temporarily suppresses all of the mental afflictions that cause one to be reborn in all of the realms that are inferior to the realm, which the final realm of mental absorption, the non-physical realm of mental absorption, which is called the peak of existence. But via the mundane path, that's as far as one can get.
Oh yeah. 어제 다트니 야 제가나 아니 지된 빌람지 방자 본제기 파제 매람다 안남로람 방자 본말 방자 테라죠 온주와라 초위 어다테 소소기위 내가라 여와 이장 다지 얘가 민자세 테리 是吧 소소기위 방자 본말 소소기위 내가스 여와제 아니 방자 고루 구데라 님보 파제 매람 지된 빌람지 님보 파제 매람 구당 아니 반자레레를 초와기 아니 남로라 레레레 체이가라 탈 남로라 구와이네가 아니 반자 타자 빵바 공주와 타자 빵바기 아니 남로라 토디가라 삼대지 무시세 두스토거래
Something mushy. So the way this works then is, again, is that in the case of the worldly path of meditation, one is when there what are called approaches to a state of meditative concentration, dhyana, and then there's then and these are accomplished through the development of shamatha, and that's appropriate to the approach to that meditative absorption, and then through the performance of using analytical wisdom to temporarily suppress the mental afflictions that cause one to be reborn into that state of existence. Then one enters into what is called an uninterrupted path. And that uninterrupted path arising out of the analytical insight into the relative peace and coarseness of the two realms that one's comparing, that uninterrupted path is the actual antidote to the mental afflictions, or rather the manifest form of the mental afflictions that cause one to be reborn into a lower realm. And so then once one has achieved that uninterrupted path, when one arises out of that meditation, one has entered into what is called the actual state of the meditative concentration connected to that specific realm. And so that means that one's accomplished the meditative concentration that is correlated with that specific realm of existence. And one does that with each of the realms as one proceeds up through the four physical realms in the physical portion of the world, and then likewise through the four non-physical realms that are above that.
Oh yeah, 다 지대는 대위라지 반자 본지 잠바 아니 다 소소도베 셰러기 제네 다메기 넘바 젠지 항동 토바다 시라 손제 톱디 토바디 다 티바송고 라무 강라 쇼이나양 아니 람티 내가라 아니 졸람 그도 켈레과리 졸람 어 된다비 시라 손제데 아니 유장네 공배 아니 통람 토디가라 대방 오심도 또 대방 오심도 또네 되네 손디가라 아니 방자 아니 담보 가사시와나시 방자 꾼다 되네 아니 방자라제 된지 꼬르고데 뽕야기 아니 다 사소소게 방자를 봐 진짜 뽕데 아니 연결이나 아니 되네 손디 다 방에 란자래 이나야 되네 손디 통람네 손디 방자 본주 다 집어지고 래온 거래.
So then,
시르마도 인자 마 신도 빵데 아니 대전에나 사계바 톱지 잠바 아니 니모바당 니모베지바 타제 빵바 된지 아니 티바 오마니레이나 마 신도 공데 된지 사변다 저 빵바 테이나 아니 다좀 티바라랑 그 다좀 도베 아두신 말에
So then, if one's following the supramundane or the path of meditation, which transcends the world, it's transcendental or supramundane path of meditation, then the overall process is similar in that one is employing shamatha and insight to ascend through the various realms of existence. But the way in which, or rather, I should say, the jolam topsona.
Jolam top gana sila sonde todi kala jolam top. Right. Then we ane sila sonde gomba la tene tar tomba ni ngosum do tobe ane sila sonde top. Right. Tomba ni ngosum do tobe ane lo top ni ane tene sonde ane sa so ki panja pang ko got tene somche. 아니 통랑 그냥 가서 군다데 빵 되네 아니 사이요 통랑 그 제수 관람네 아니 반자 빵에 사랑아랑 그 반자 고마요 고 좀니 티제네 사제바 돕지 담바 된지 사베네 저 빵 요모 그거 어머니라 다좀 더디 가는 요모 사베다 저 빵
So the way the supramundane path of meditation works is rather that one develops shamatha and insight on the path of preparation, and then as one proceeds through the path of preparation, one eventually arrives at the point where one develops direct realization or direct realization of emptiness. That initial direct realization of emptiness is the path of seeing, and in the path of seeing, when one accomplishes that, then one has eliminated the intellectually acquired form of the misconception of the kuntak. Marikpa So the wrong misapprehension of the self, misapprehension of things as being real, the misapprehension which holds to extreme views, all of these forms that are intellectually acquired, those are gotten rid of on the path of seeing. And then when one shifts from the path of seeing to the path of meditation, if one is following this in the way that, according to the Shravaka vehicle as well as the Pratyeka Buddha vehicle, then one proceeds through the stages of development of meditative concentration and the four meditative concentrations that pertain to the physical realm of existence, as well as the four meditative absorptions that pertain to the non-physical realm of existence. And one proceeds through those sequentially, applying one's insight into emptiness or selflessness to each of them, and gradually goes through them and eliminates all of the things that are to be gotten rid of on each of the individual stages as one proceeds through these 8 higher realms of existence, the desire realm, and then the physical realm, and then non-physical realm, going through those sequentially. And then eventually, if one's following the Shravaka or Pratyeka Buddha path, then one eventually, by getting rid of even the mental afflictions that are connected to the highest form of existence, samsaric existence, at the peak of existence, at the fourth non-physical mental absorption, one eliminates that, the things to be gotten rid of that are connected to that. And that then, when one finally eliminates those, one is an arhat. one has achieved nirvana at that point. That's for those who are following the Hinayana path of Pratyeka Buddhas and Shravakas. If one, on the other hand, is following the Bodhisattva path, then one does a similar process, but one goes through achieves the first Bodhisattva stage on the path of seeing, goes through the subsequent seven Bodhisattva stages. Subsequent 6 Bodhisattva stages, and at the end of then the 7th Bodhisattva stage, one has gotten rid of the mental afflictions. Here, this is referring specifically to the misapprehension of things as being real, together with the seeds that give rise to the misapprehension of things as being real. Then, when one gets rid of the last of those on the path, the 7th Bodhisattva stage, and then when one enters into the 8th Bodhisattva stage, one has become effectively the Sakyapa Drajumba. So these a bodhisattva at that stage is not called an arhat, but they're called someone who's obtained who's achieved the 8th bodhisattva stage.
Oh yeah. So panja ponju tuchava so that jigden belamji panja ponju da jigden lan dewe panja ponju ni wala tuchava yin. Da dumba 진이라 매빈 한동 아니 현야 요준이 다 다중이 되라 진이 발람이 빈 한동이 녀몽은 주바 뽕이 시라게 나바젠도 공바 마세 다 시라게 사콩라 시라서 지지 명아도 샤바다 아니 천이 소소 감접제지 감접제세나 아니 미바 요지 감투 내가 암비 감투 내가 남시지 감투 감접자지 봐. 단단 미바 유지 감수 레라와 수다 티조 레자 쳇리 봐. 수다 티조 레자 쳇 담바 암비 카르 미가 암보 나야 암보 내야 암보 제 암보 리지 암보 이지 암보지 암보 접제 암보 그 투체 봐. 담바 남시지 카우치가 아니 미게 남시 나의 남시 내 남시 제 남시 류제 남시 이제 남시 제가 어때 감접제 다 디두고 아래 최섬제 누나 아니 본보다는 제시다 감접기니 탐지 뒤 세니까 최탐제 감접제 날 뒤어 이 말이야 그봐 인자 시지 명아도 셔봐다 감접제기 천이 남발 제비 조금이야 인배 디천에 진입이 되는 넘버 천에 공비 상동양 시와 차고 다 진짜 진입을 뭐 상동 시행 요아리 시라가 넘버 제일 상동 dem마인 바 시자 진입을 뭐 상동 시행 요아리.
So then there's also other forms of insight which take as their objects the diversity of things, and this is explained in the instruction on the perfection of wisdom. So it says that with respect to insight, which takes as its object the diversity of things, it's not the case. It's not limited to the meditation, which has the aspect of comparing the relative coarseness and peacefulness of things, which gets rid of the manifest forms of the mental afflictions. Rather, just as it's explained in the instruction on the perfection of wisdom text, there's also analytical meditation, which differentiates the characteristics of the 18 elements. Here, elements is referring. This is a way of also exhaustively categorizing that which exists. and one can do this under the elements or under the aggregates, the elements, the cognitive spheres. There's 12 cognitive spheres. So here the 18 elements refer to objects, objects that are cognizable, the organs or faculties through which they're cognized, and then the awarenesses which cognize objects. So objects are the things like visible forms, sounds, odors. I'm getting lost now. So visible forms, sounds, tastes, tangible things, and visible forms, sounds, odors, yes, odors, tastes, and tangible things, and then phenomena. So the 5 forms of objects. These are the objects that are external objects which are observed in cognition, and so those 6. And then there's the 6 kinds of the organs that through which they're cognized. So you have the eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body. The eye organ, the physical organ that's the basis of visual awareness, the auditory organ, the gustatory organ, the tactile organ. I'm missing another one still. Nose, olfactory organ. All of these organs, and then also the what's called the mental organ, which a mental organ, and then also then the 6 awarenesses, which arise from the conjunction of these external objects and the organs, faculties that are able to cognize them.
That is right.
Yeah. So then the consciousnesses again are vision, hearing, the ability to smell things, ability to taste things, ability to sense tactile, to experience tactile sensations, and then awareness of phenomena.
이제 어디 다인상 된다기 아니 가서래. 내가 지지 명화도 셔 칸주비지. 천이 나바집이 자고미 천이 감접제지 천이 나바집이 자고에 인베스. 다 뒤에 조금 뒤에 천이 아니现在 진입이 된 나바제나 공부 상동 현有그래.
So symbolized or represented by these 18 elements, one can also one can understand that there are other forms of insight which one cultivates meditatively through having differentiated the various diverse sorts of things, diverse sorts of objects.
Oh yeah. 다한테 가서 쉬어서 잡아시지 명안에 셰비 고른다 민자와 고른다 민자와 가서 니리 시발라 소지 셰바다를 인주니 시지 명안라 치다라 미비 시라니 제비 된도 아니 친예발라 미비 아니 나조지사 시라니 제바 원도 가서 시지 명화를 지다와라 미비 시라니 깨비 원도 세자 진입발라 미비 나조지 사이 시라니 깨봐 온도 동화 세장是吧？他感觉起到了maybe 아니 시라기 온도 아니 친해봐라 maybe 아니 시라니 온도 동화 난조기 사스나 지당 딜레시고로 시라 손대지 심비 쳔바지라 난조기 사스고래是吧？시라 손대지 심비 아니 가서를 쳔바면 남지라 시라 손대지 남슈이 제반 난조 세 찬이소 나지니 시라 손대지 집에 남슈지 남지라 난조 사스고래
실학 순적일라.
심비 쳔바면 남지라 난조 지사
Kimba. So then here it says that although it's explained in the in a different sequence in the explanation of the that's given in the instruction on the perfection of wisdom, here is being given in accordance to the way that it's held by Shantideva, etc.
현재 시지명아 시지명아
디삽지 시락소기 셰바타.
제바 시지명아 레셰비 좀 고른다 면자와 디시반 오야
So then it says in the instruction on the perfection of wisdom, it says that first one has to generate shamatha and vipassana, shamatha and insight. In here, there's a term that's called the stage of yoga. This stage of yoga refers to a kind of path or an understanding which arises from the harnessing together of shamatha and insight together like that. So first one has to accomplish, or to start over here, it says that. So that according to Ratnakara Shanti's instruction here in the instruction on the perfection of wisdom, it says that first one has to generate the shamatha and insight, taking as the object. I'm sorry, getting all messed up here. Before. In his instruction on the perfection of wisdom, he says that prior to generating the shamatha and insight, which take as their object things as they are, one has to previously develop the stage of yoga in which shamatha and vipassana take as their object the diversity of things. So that's the way he explains it.
Please. 텐다위 다 가르쳐서나 시장시 진여발라 미비 신랑이 온도 깨네 뒤에서 치다와라 미비 신랑이 깨봐 아나 나도 시장 고름 된다 시장 단단 네 된다 많이 봐 니니 시와라 따라 까마라 소시 샤바 따라 온도 신내 강론시 깨네 온도 신내 강론시 깨네 다 미바 갈래 메기나래 셈라 메기나야래 사구라 메기나 동반이라 메기나래 샤바다 온도 신내 강론시 깨네 뒤에서다 상동의 신내 팅하는 안에结果와 인자 상동结봐 인라 대양 지다와라 미비 상동이 다티 난조와기 안에 가서 냠랭가 완도 채네 아니 쪼데 미바데 아니 지다와라 미비 상동데 된 거와래
So although that's the way that master explains it in his instruction on the perfection of wisdom, here it's being presented as if this is accepted by Shantideva and Kamalashila, etc. And it says that first one can develop, when one develops shamatha, in using whatever kind of object one wishes. It could be the mind itself. It could be you could use the body of a divinity, or one could use emptiness as the object to develop shamatha. And then after one has developed shamatha in that way, then one out of the condition of or the state of shamatha, then one generates insight, and then that being the case, this shows the development of. So in that way, it shows that one is developing insight, which takes as the object things as they are. That is jitawa ya jini wangto. So in this system, then it's possible. It differs from the way Ratnakara Shanti has presented it, in that here it's presented such that one can first develop shamatha with respect to things as they are, and then after that, or out of that, develop insight with respect to the way things are.
Oh yeah. Then the Shilani would Nela, Mibachik, Kalamina, Telamina, Shineji, Tijela, and Telamina, Handon Jeko, Yinzang. That got the only Tombanila maybe. Dame Baba Tombanila maybe, Shinan on the jet. Tijela, and Tombanila maybe, Handon Tente. Shila Rembashi to Jeko. What day? That tender will. 제주대 루테 이와테 루테 티바체중 나무 강가 왕도 제와라 숨라 다 텐디 제에디 티바첨보 녀랑 티진 양파진 티바당 아니 도시 티바 가려 왕도 제와래 세나 투모와래 소아데 티바체중 탐제지 투모와 인데 다 돈이라미비 아니 Nyerang Tibala Shuna Yang, Toma Donilami Bishine, Drumne, teaches Donilami Langon Jene, Tene, Dombany Musum to Tobichido, Shilasun de Gona, and the Dombany Musum Tone, Rimbach and Tachishuanashi, or Nyerana, Tishin do Tijan Layang, Tomba Tomba Pajintibi Caso, Tijan Layang, and it Caso Tambo Shine. Then and the Handon, Shila Sunjo Gomne, and it embarked into Panchaboy. Then Nala in Zantilla, one at the Tawani, Tendrawani, Shila, them gentle Gizu Te, Tiba Chijun Tang, Donga Kanka on the Chawa in Shena. So that Dini, Nyarandang, Paruchibi Tiba Nidang. 파로치비 특전바 니당. 연한도 파로치비 특전바. 특바 니당 스고에도 파로치비 특전바 니 있으나 되어라면도 파로치비 연한도 파로치비 특바 니당. 연한 파로치비 특바 니 파진 특바다 아지 특바 니당. 춥다시 투몽아래. 와 춥다시 투몽아래. 야.
So here this leads to the question of, so here it's being established that one can develop shamatha and then insight, but with one can take either the object, which is one of the diverse phenomenal things, or one can take and develop vipassana with that as the object, and then on the same object, one can develop insight, and likewise, one can take something like emptiness, things as they are, thing which is as it is, that is ultimate thing, as the object for developing shamatha, and then based from that, then develop insight with that same object. And if one does it in the latter way, taking emptiness as the object, as we've discussed, one can proceed through the path in various ways. One can do it in the way that the Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas of the Hinayana do it, such that they proceed through the path of preparation, develop direct insight into the nature of direct realization of emptiness on the path of seeing, get rid of the specific things to be gotten rid of as they proceed through the path, finally achieving arhatship, if they following that way, or follow the Mahayana, and within the Mahayana, one does this kind of practice that integrates, or I should say, conjoins shamatha and insight, harnesses them together in a pair, and then proceeds through the path as described earlier, and through the bodhisattva path. This in the Mahayana also, this applies to both the perfection system of the Mahayana as well as the mantra system of the Mahayana. And then, so the text here explains that this is, if one asks, this system, what sort of the system that's being described here, which, in accordance with which of the various greater and lesser vehicles is this being presented, then first is shown that this is common to the entirety of the greater and lesser vehicle, and it's also similar to that which is done within the three lower classes of Tantra within the mantra system of Mahayana. And then the basic text here says, well now, if you ask, if you say, such development of, the way of developing shamatha and vipassana in that way, in that sequence, is that in accordance with which of the vehicles, of the greater and lesser vehicles, and then within the Mahayana, which of the two systems, the sutra approach in the perfection system, or the mantra approach, or the tantric approach in the mantra system, which of this is that done in accordance with? Then the answer to that is, this is common, this way of doing it is common to both the Shravaka and Pratyeka Buddha paths, as well as the two approaches or two systems within the Mahayana. Sorry, I mistranslated that. This is common. I mistranslated that last bit. This is common to the Shravaka and Pratyeka Buddha vehicles, and it's also common to the perfection system within the Mahayana, and it's also common for all four schools of Buddhist philosophy.
Yes, right. Nyerandang, Parur Chimbi, Tijimba, Parur Chimbi, Tijimba Nidang, Parur Tibadang, Anna Dwaji Tiba Nid, Tubdashi Tumondang, Tubdashi, Yande Gaza, Cherama, Annie and Denida, Samzambada, Ranjaba, Tumoa. Tanga la Sidikana, Nag, Gidisumla and Drivers. Ngaji Judisumla and Drivers, Gala Chaji, Gigi, Anjo Gisumla Yang, Annie Sila Rimjan to Kyogo at the Java. Oda Kondo Annie Pachin Tibadang, Tuda Sidang, Ngaji Judisum, Chaji Gigi, Nanjo Gisumla, Annie Sila Rimjan to Kyogo at the Java. Injan Lame Diana Sumudua, Lamena, Mindra Yova to Koya Injury. Judisumla and Driver, Juso than Teta, Desa Chibi Sheba, Ngajilam Jirba Shasundo, Sigana, Tangaru Chibugana, and Shamazaba in Bari. Not the Chambala Shekures, Juso Soki, Juso Tan, Teta, Desa, and the Sheba country in Badi, Ngajiram, Ngajibuka, Share.
So, to repeat this, then, this approach of developing shamatha and vipassana in sequence, and the way in which they are conjoined or harnessed together, as described previously, this is common to both the Shravaka and Pratyeka Buddha path, as well as the two systems of the Mahayana.
바로 집에 특반이당 다 바로 집에 특바세나 파진 특바당 알람이 전이당 스기인사리 yan디라 바로 집에 특바당 아니 내랑당 바로 집에 아니 특반이당 파진 특반이당 세잖아만도 내면와 디제만 이세 되임바리 와 내랑당 바로 집에 특전바당 아니 응아지 특반이당
나기 택부지
다디시 두잖아 대샤고 대양 춤다시 투모와 이라 다양하지 티바텔라야 주디 숨라 자양 상아지 티비나라 응아지 티바텔라 주디 시요와 인장 주디 담보 숨라 아니 신내지 신앙원도 쪼고와 하동 제수 쪼고와디 아니 자와르 아니 기소소당 대다기 대제 취비 셔바
So then this is also common to the four schools of Buddhist philosophy. So this applies both to the Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Yogacara, Madhyamika, all of these four schools of philosophy. This sequence of developing shamatha first and then subsequently developing vipassana insight meditation is common to all of these. And then also it's similar within the three categories of the tantras within the mantra system of the Mahayana. So here there's the ritual tantra, conduct tantra, and likewise yoga tantra. All three of those categories of tantra within the mantra system of Mahayana. The sequence of developing shamatha first and then vipassana afterwards, and then integrating them together is common to all three of those. And the way in which the individual tantras present this, as well as the ways in which this is accepted with respect to the great commentators on those tantras, has been already explained in the stages of the path of mantra.
이자 ngāki kāsu, ngā lāmi kāsu, 아니 신의 원도 신의 좀네 뒤제수 안에 한동 좀 먹어봐. 아니 신라니 뒤지도 주변에 연결시 송과래. 그러와 관세 고면내지 lun심 퇴위 신라 직자 여바 송 신라 직자 주바 여바 송 공도 매와기 ngālāme ke nāga ju lūla nēto nyumbi ane lūngsum lēsu rūmi tū lūsum tūwa lūsum ane lēsu rūmi tū ane 신ē dāng ane kāsore 상도 니고 직자 주바 여바지야 숭에 그다 숭주 지와래
lūla nēto nyumbi tū lūla
내 요말에
lūla nēto
내다가지라 아니 롱지 대응하기 되나라 고면내기 lun심 투위도 신라 직자 여바 신라 직자 주바 여바 송시가 류래래도 네비 난조그 떠지 아니 lun심 레수 도디 lun심 레수 롱와라 때네 아니 신행당 항동니고데 뭐지 몇거 직자 주바 연결
So there's a difference between these three sets of categories of tantra, the so-called lower tantras, and then the unexcelled yoga tantra. In that unexcelled yoga tantra, there's a way in which it's explained anyway that there's a way in which one can actualize both shamatha and insight together simultaneously. By means of the process of piercing the essential points within the body, and such that the mind and the body become serviceable by means of that method.
Oh yeah, that nanju dila niwa nanju lamelani semzamdang tisinyi lam be chanjo ke nanjo shira jutu sheba ni da nanjo lamela 아니까 미바스 샘잠당 디신이 소라 미비 아젠족이 아니 실라주주 셰바니 나저 라멜라니 나 시진명아라 소나나 시진명아래 랑게 셈니 따바나 최고 랑게 셈라네 최대 탐제 최디 나게 도체네 최다 춘이 매바고 가소래 대승승도와 나나주 라마게 가나 시진명아 가나 랑게 셈라 따바나 최고 아니 랑게 셈라 내바레 다디 바제 셈잠발라다나 최담제 나가 셈지 당지 잠라 당지 주가 잠라 되는 자나 제 셈잠라 자와데 지나 최디 나기 도전에 랑 최고 나 셈지 당지 잠도 주바 인상 최디 나기 도전에 세강 아니 치료기 동바 치료지 동바기 아니 나기 도전에 봐 최단 춘이 매바오 상대의 송배장 삼삼란이 때에서 치료 전화 믿었고 다들 지락 삼삼을 제 지장 랑실의 삼삼란이 때에서 치료 전화 믿었고写소지 때비 삼삼란 믿바다 대신이란 믿바다 나저 남에지 나저 숨담바야 차대 그러나 다 여기 최근랑 그 섬란에 섬섬세디 이 최담자 난 섬기 다니 잠라 자야지당 양 섬잠라 자야지 이체
심랑 다기 잠만
섬잠당 티신이라 소비 전족이 난조 실라주주 세가 난조 라멜라니 세지 메간라 랑게 셈제 따와나 최근 셈제 나라 때서 랑게 셈제 따와나 최근 나 셈제 다니 잠도 내와래 이 도시에 직체 최대 난게 도전에 세가나 최대 아니 랑당 참마게 랑게 다니지 랑게 참에 동바 난게 도시되고 내외 아니 최다 친이 매보고 시 상대의 송배장 도시에 직체 그러나 양 랑실에 선점란이 때는 주로 되는 믿고 시위 아니 미바 된점 맞아 제 셈장라잖아 제 제소지 때문에 셈장라 미바당 미바 셈장라 미바당 셈장라 미네 티신이 때는 배바 아니 티신이라 미바 상동때나 배기 셈장라 미바당 티신이라 매바당 남이지 나저 숨때바 체징 다 걸었잖아 이 담아들었다나 셈장라 때에서 시진명아 코란디 셈장비 흉도 제디가나 안에 테레제나
So then with respect to the unexcelled Yoga Tantra, here it's explained. It's said that there's a way in which one accomplishes shamatha and insight by means of a yoga in which one employs both analysis and placement, which takes as its object mere mind or suchness, etc. As the object, and this is explained in the instruction on the perfection of wisdom, and so the explanation of this is that with respect to unexcelled yoga, the instruction on the perfection of wisdom says that when one has examined one's own mind, all phenomena abide in one's mind. All these phenomena abide in the vajra of space, without phenomena and nature. And this is a quotation from the Guhya Samaja. And so it says that. And if here in the there are various ways to construe this and interpret this, but if we take it in accordance with the mere mind position, which is accepted by the author of this text, the author of the instruction on the perfection of wisdom, then we would say that all phenomena are of the entity of the mind. When mere mind, the word mere mind, or is translated also as mind only, but mere mind can be understood in two ways. But here we're taking it in the sense of that all phenomena are merely of the entity of the mind. They're of the same entity as the mind.
아니 치료지대 뭐보면 샤와 치료지대 여봐 말이 뭐메리 내가야 나 삼삼라 때내서 아니 치료지대라 믿다고 또 자이나
So then this statement then out of the Guhya Samaja also one can consider this in relation to a statement from the Lankavatara Sutra, the entering into Lanka Sutra, where it says that having ascended to mere mind, don't think of external objects. This last line here where it says don't think of external objects. There's another reading of this text as it's quoted in the essence of good explanations, etc. Different variant reading of the text where it says one should know external objects in that way, meaning understand them as a mere mind.
야, 딴 들이 자수대.
And we'll stop there today.
다기 진에 사회 개와데 다 로마군나 간 제바지 전고산다바에 덴베님 보렌도 사지 사시 베제 저셰메도다 데라린시는데 젬바 산제신도 메데 보와예 조근난다 젠라 젬바 예당 구로라나 멘라라 간야다야미 도벨 소니네 가다야 바카시사 마야메 Yeah. Shabasidi Badu Danjuru Jaya Jajan Lama Kuzera Danjana Gajala Jojo Lozan Dembe Dume Sasan Jedowe Meshe Dadu Nejo Jaya Chanjo Sanjo Remba Jema Jebanaji Jewa Nyamba Mebaya Kone Kondo Bewa Jo Jambe Baye Cheda Jembada Kundo Sambote Eda Kunje Jeso Dalo Je Gawan Deda Tamje Rabdu O Duzun Shebe Jawa Tamje Jenwa Kana Dagi Ge Sawa Dugan Ja Sambo Je Je Rodu O Mejun Seje Jeve Chena Da Dendri Luwa Mebe Damba Dan Daga La Sam Dabe Namda Mbe Ne Gun Duwara Sho